If making money feels harder lately, don't worry, the economy just decided to switch to hard mode. And no, that's not your fault. It's one of those automatic updates you didn't ask for, like when your phone suddenly changes all the icons and you can't find your camera anymore. You're standing there, trying to take a picture of your cat doing something cute, and you're just swiping through screens of useless new apps. That's the economy right now. It moved everything around, and everyone's just trying to figure out where the buttons went. It's confusing, it's a little frustrating, and it definitely wasn't in the user manual. Hi, I'm Max. I'm 11, and I talk about money. I'm not rich. I just pay attention. I started paying attention after watching my parents work really hard, and still worry about money. They'd come home tired, look at the mail, and their faces would just change. It made me curious. It was like watching someone follow a recipe perfectly, with all the right ingredients, and the cake still comes out flat. You start to wonder if maybe the recipe is wrong, or maybe the oven is secretly changing the temperature just to mess with you. That's what I wanted to understand. A lot of adults tell kids that if you work hard, life will be easier. That sounds fair. It's a good deal. It's the promise we're all sold. Let me explain what changed. I will use simple words. I will give you 3 big reasons why money feels harder now, like trying to run through sand. By the way, if you like Money Explained Simple, you can subscribe now. I make these videos to make this stuff less confusing. A big reason things feel so hard is credit card debt. It's a huge weight on everyone's shoulders, used for everyday things. Imagine your debt is a backpack. Every month you're short on cash, you add a rock. At first it's light, but soon the backpack gets heavy. Then interest, like a little gremlin, sneaks in and adds more rocks. You didn't buy anything new, but the weight just keeps increasing. When millions of people are spending their energy just carrying the backpack, the whole economy feels sluggish. You know, you have to admire the economy's sense of humor. It's got this dark, sarcastic wit that you just can't teach. For years, financial experts, your uncle at Thanksgiving, have been yelling the same advice. If you're struggling, just make more money. It's the solution to everything, right? So the economy, being the attentive listener that it is, seems to have heard this. And its response was to look at all of us, smile politely. You want to make more money? Okay, cute. Let's see how you do now that everything costs more. Classic. It's like being in a race where you're told the key to winning is just to run faster. So you train, you practice, you get really good at running. You show up on race day feeling confident. But right as the starting gun fires, the race official announces the finish line has been moved 10 miles further away, and you have to run the whole thing backwards. The advice to just run faster suddenly feels a little insulting, doesn't it? You're still running, you're still working hard, but the goalposts have been completely moved. Then you get the other classic piece of advice: just budget better. Budgeting is great. It's smart. It helps you see where your money is going. But a budget is a tool, not a magic wand. Telling someone to budget better when the cost of housing, food, gas has skyrocketed is like telling someone whose boat is sinking to just bail water faster. Yes, bailing water is a good and necessary action, but it doesn't fix the giant hole in the bottom of the boat. A budget can only rearrange the dollars you have. It can't create new ones from thin air. So if you feel like you're doing everything right, you're working, you're budgeting, you're trying to save, and you're still falling behind, please know this. It doesn't mean you failed. It doesn't mean you're bad with money. It just means the game got harder. The difficulty setting was changed without your consent. You're playing the same game, but the developers released a patch that made everything more expensive, your paycheck worth a little less. And they didn't even give you a cool new sword to make up for it. Words like inflation and disinflation sound big and complicated, designed to make you tune out. But the idea is actually very simple. Inflation just means prices go up. A little bit of inflation is normal, like how you grow a little taller each year. But recently, we had a lot of inflation, very fast. It was like a massive growth spurt, where suddenly, none of your clothes fit anymore. Now you might hear on the news that inflation is slowing down. This is where the illusion comes in. This sounds like good news, like prices are going back to normal. But that's not what it means. All it means is that prices are not rising as fast as they were before. They are still rising, just at a slower, less terrifying pace. The prices that already went up? Oh, they're staying up there. They've moved into their new expensive apartment, and they have no plans to leave. Think of it like this. You have a favorite toy that used to cost $10. Then, a big economic storm came through, and suddenly that toy cost $15. A huge jump. Now, the news reports that the storm is over and inflation has cooled. The third big reason, and this is a monster, is that housing costs have stayed incredibly expensive. For most people, the single biggest bill they pay is for the roof over their head. In many places, the cost of that roof is completely out of sync with what the average person earns. Why? It's a perfect storm. Not enough new houses were built, the price of materials went up, and big investment companies bought up homes to rent out. It's like starting a race 50 yards behind the starting line. It leaves very little money for everything else that makes life, well, life. Let's be very clear about something. Money can make people feel a deep sense of shame. When the bills pile up or the bank account looks scary, the first instinct for many is to blame themselves. People think, I must have done something wrong, or I'm just not smart enough with money. This feeling of personal failure is one of the heaviest parts of financial struggle. It's isolating. It makes you feel like you're the only one who can't figure it out. But that's a lie. It's a story we tell ourselves that just isn't true. Shame is a powerful and destructive emotion. It takes away your energy. It makes you want to hide from the problem instead of facing it. When you feel ashamed, you're less likely to ask for help, less likely to talk to your partner or a friend, less likely to believe you can make smart choices to improve your situation. So, I'm asking you, right now, to take all of that guilt and just drop it. Let it go. The economy changed. The game got harder. You did not suddenly become less capable or less hardworking. Think about it this way. If you were playing a game of Monopoly, by the way, if you like Money Explained Simple, you can subscribe now. I make these videos to make this stuff less confusing. I believe that understanding the game is the first step to playing it better. There's no secret handshake or magic password. It's just about getting clear, simple information so you can make the best choices for you and your family. Knowledge doesn't solve everything overnight, but it does turn the lights on so you can see the path forward. Now, let's talk about some small but useful ideas you can try if you feel stuck. First, just look at your money in simple lists. Don't use a complicated app if you don't want to. Just paper, pen. What must you pay first? Rent, utilities. What can wait? Seeing it all laid out can make it feel less like a monster hiding in the closet. Second, try to save a tiny bit each week. Even if it's just $5, it's not about the amount. It's about building the habit of paying yourself first. Small savings build options and confidence later. If you have a credit card with a really high interest rate, try calling the bank. Calmly explain that you're a good customer, but the interest is making it hard to pay down the balance, and ask if there are any options for a lower rate. The worst they can say is no, but sometimes they say yes. It sounds scary, but it can work. And finally, try to learn one new money tip a month. Just one. Read an article, watch a video. Small knowledge adds up over time, like leveling up a skill in a game. Please, be careful with people online promising you can get rich quick. They're usually selling tricks, not real solutions. The safe path is slow and steady. It's boring, but it's the path that actually works. So, if you remember nothing else, remember these 3 things. 1. High credit card debt is a heavy load eating up future income. 2. Prices went up and stayed up, so your money buys less. And 3. The housing squeeze creates constant financial fragility, where one unexpected bill can become a crisis. The game is harder, yes, but people are incredibly resilient. We figure out hard levels, so do not let shame weigh you down. The economy changed the rules. You did not fail the game. The game may have gotten harder, but knowledge makes you a smarter player. It helps you spot the traps, find the hidden power-ups, and navigate the level with more confidence. The game is tough, but we're all playing it together. And smarter, kinder players can absolutely win.